Finally, I am Teeso the Unrivaled no more.
You fought well.
I did, didn't I?
Welcome to MojoPlays, and today we're looking over the most abysmal examples of video game bosses that emerged over the course of 2025.
Before we begin, we publish new content all week long, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
Number 10. Teeso the Unrivaled, Ghost of Yotei.
Are you?
This will be the greatest day of my life.
Don't get us wrong, the build-up to this samurai showdown was magnificent. Having cut her way through various hopefuls, Atsu eventually earns the attention of the so-called unrivaled swordsman Teeso, who yearns to be defeated by a worthy opponent. With the peak of Mount Yotei serving as a battleground, the duel is as picturesque as you could ever hope to portray. Unfortunately, the fight itself does away with all that beauty in exchange for tediousness. Make no mistake, Teeso is meant to be Yotei's ultimate challenge, so it's only fair he's difficult to take down. But the way he spams unblockable attacks combined with the change in weather causing your life to be chipped away automatically? Let's just say it took some shine off the splendor.
You're the Unrivaled now, Atsu.
Number 9. Gro the Great, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. We're convinced this boss was created purely to troll the players. While this Nevron might appear intimidating, given that it's a giant stone face that throws itself at your whole party, things quickly shift into WTF territory when Gro the Great doesn't stop attacking. At all. Aside from how it can barely be damaged, every round this living boulder will increase the amount of blows against your team, giving you no other option than to dodge or parry to an increasingly absurd degree. Hold out long enough and it will eventually give up and self-immolate, leaving us confused, confounded, and concerned as to what else the continent had in store for us. Number 8. King Vermin, Hades 2.
At last, a worthy opponent.
The last thing any of us expected while traversing the depths of Oceanus was to encounter a rat. A royal rat with a nasty attitude and a bite strong enough to kill a god. Yeah, the King Vermin is a nasty surprise for those exploring the early game. A mini-boss who may be small in stature but can easily wipe out all of Malinowe's health if you've got a lackluster build. With how chaotic the arena can get with additional enemies and explosions, you can easily lose sight of the rodent in the scuffle. At least until he leaps across the screen to take a bite out of you. Number 7. Don Teresi, Mafia, the Old Country.
You can't escape what you've done!
The performance? Awesome. The animation? Slick. The fight? Sorely lacking. Granted, this is just the culmination of the Old Country's issues when it comes to boss fights in general. Everything is a knife fight. Every altercation or boss encounter always ends in a knife fight, and unfortunately, the controls turn the whole thing stale really quickly. We were bored out of our minds 10 knife fights ago, which is a shame since by the time Don Teresi shows up looking to rumble, the whole thing has been done to death. Trading stabs with a Mafia Don while a volcano erupts in the background should never be this boring.
I have everything I need.
Number 6. Maris, Elden Ring, Night Rain. Unlike previous shard bearers and other monsters that roam the lands between, the Night Lords are bosses that are made with multiplayer in mind. The scale and range of their attacks are devastating at the best of times, so unless your coordination and builds are on point, you're going to be sent hurtling back to the start of your run. Out of all of them, the one that felt the cheapest and provided the most headaches would be the Fathom of Night. This thing is a nightmare for melee builds. So, while you're chasing it around the arena, Maris is free to hover out of reach like the second coming of the Elden Beast, while causing massive sleep build-up, summoning tentacles, and dropping aquatic bombs. Number 5. Ahzrak and Witch, Doom, the Dark Ages. When you think of the final boss from the modern Doom games, the general approach tends to be go big or go home. Make of them what you will, but the Icon of Sin and the Spider Hive Mind were unique, menacing, and a true test of the Doomslayer's skills. And then you have this duo, who are, at best, severely underwhelming. By this point, we've already fought Ahzrak once before, while the Witch is no more challenging than your standard elite enemy, both of which can be taken down so long as you spam that shield parry. It's a damn shame that a game that features the Slayer piloting a mecha and a dragon ends on such a dour note. Number 4, Gro the Great, Hollow Knight, Silk Song. By himself, Gro is certainly on the lower rung of quality bosses found across both Hollow Knight games. His arena is loaded with booby traps, hidden henchmen, as well as corrupted water that destroys Hornet's silk supply. It's dangerously easy to slip up while trying to layer on the damage and cost yourself the fight. But that's not what makes this oversized bug frog such a miserable experience. It's the run back. If you're unlucky enough to not find the hidden rest spot, every defeat demands that you have to traverse the entirety of Bilewater in order to challenge Gro again. Needless to say, it gets real irritating real quick. Number 3, The Flower, Scar-Led Salvation.
It's been a while since I fought this thing.
Really never give up. That's an amazing quality to possess.
Yeah, we hadn't heard of this game either, and while the idea of a Returnal clone with an anime aesthetic isn't inherently a terrible one, the execution here falls flat on just about every level. That includes the bosses, of which there are only 3. The bug and the dragon may be annoying in their own right, but the flower is offensively poor. There's no innovation to the combat cycle, no sense of urgency, and the whole thing feels like a cheap attempt to copy what makes for a good third-person bullet hell boss, only for the results to feel sterile. Number 2, The Viceroy, Captain Blood. We can appreciate the sentiment behind wanting to create a game that pays homage to the hack and slash classics of the PS2 era, especially when you put a pirate spin on it. Unfortunately, Captain Blood seems to have confused intuitive combat with damage sponges. So many of the bosses across this game have absurd levels of health, and given the limited reach and speed of both your weapons, it is all too easy to get mulched while trying to get your licks in. The Viceroy is the worst of the bunch, given that he has 2 phases. No amount of spamming bullets or quick time events make this fight any less of a slog. This boss should have been keelhauled during development. Number 1, Harper, Call of Duty, Black Ops 7.
Might have an answer.
Just when you thought this game couldn't do anything else wrong, along comes this boss, which turned out to be pretty much the antithesis of all things Black Ops. Given that it takes place in a virtual landscape, the game decides to give itself some surreal liberties, and turn one of the major stars of Black Ops 2, Harper, into a giant monster. Like it's something out of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It's so out of touch, so antithetical to what makes COD COD, but most of all, it's just boring, bland, and uninspired. Maybe it was a good thing that the campaign was online only. It just means less long-term fans were subjected to the sight of having to shoot down an enlarged evil Michael Rooker.
Look out! Get back!
Which video game boss from this year made you cringe the hardest? Let us know in the comments.